I started dog sitting in Ohio in 2019, and I would make a couple $100 a month doing it. But really, it started blowing up when I moved to Colorado. And so we've been here since August 2019. And I dog sat for probably half a year, and then I started building up my client base. And now it's every weekend I have a job, and I make around $1,000 to $1,500 a month, depending on the season of that. And it's all basically repeat clients now.
More and more people want the flexibility to work from home. If you're interested in part-time money, side hustles, or full-time work, the internet has the money we're looking for. On our Internet Money segment today, we're going to interview Vee Weir. Vee is a multi-income stream producing entrepreneur who makes her living at home online. One of her side hustles that we'll be focusing on today is dog sitting. Today, we're going to learn how Vee makes over $10,000 per year dog sitting and how you can get started today if you're interested in taking care of animals for money. Welcome to the show, Vee.
Hi, Andy. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. It's a joy to have you. You and I have been working together for a little while, so it's nice to talk about this fun topic as well, outside of the normal stuff we talk about. So,
Yeah.
Let's talk about what got you interested in dog sitting as a side hustle in the first place.
Yeah, so when I started my company, Weir Digital Marketing, which is where you know me from, I wasn't making enough money to cover everything because I was a first time entrepreneur with a fledgling business. So I decided to supplement my income by dog sitting via Rover, which is something that I was very comfortable with because I had grown up with animals and I had also worked on a farm. So I can take care of pretty much anything. Dogs, cats, guinea pigs, horses, pigs, anything. I'm an animal lover and I have been my entire life. So it was very familiar to me. So I decided to give it a shot. And I really started bringing in the big bucks around 2019, which is when I started my business.
Nice. So you've been at this for a little while,
Mhm.
and then so talk to us about the sort of the ramp up time to actually start making money doing something like this.
Right. I would absolutely say it depends on where you are and kind of the population of where you are. So for those of you who don't know, I live in Boulder, Colorado, which is a densely populated area and it's very close to Denver as well. And the city is very granola, hippie, hiking, dog friendly. You would be hard pressed to find somebody who doesn't have a dog. Um, and that's just the reality of where I live. So I started dog sitting in Ohio in 2019, and I would make a couple $100 a month doing it. But really, it started blowing up when I moved to Colorado. And so we've been here since August 2019. And I dog sat for probably half a year, and then I started building up my client base. And now it's every weekend I have a job, and I make around $1,000 to $1,500 a month, depending on the season of that. And it's all basically repeat clients now.
Wow, that's fun. So yeah, okay, you got to live somewhere where dogs are. That makes sense. So,
Yeah.
and outside of that, are you going? Are they coming to you, or are you going to them? How does that all work?
There are different types of jobs that you can take on Rover. So you can be a dog walker, which is exactly as it sounds. You walk dogs. Then you can house dogs in your home, boarding, which I don't do because we already have 3 dogs and we live in an apartment. If we did have more space and more land, that is something that I absolutely would do, just because you can take advantage of the property that you have, and kind of make passive income that way. And then there is house sitting, which is where I make the most of my money. I go to my clients' homes and stay there for extended periods of time. And because the income level here is so high, that usually means I'm staying in pretty big mansions in the mountains. So that's a plus.
That is a plus. That sounds like a fun thing. So, talk to us about Rover a little bit more, because this seems to be your connection to a lot of these opportunities. When did you discover that app, and talk to us about how it all works?
I think I discovered the app in 2018. It was around my divorce, and one of my friends used to live in DC, another densely populated, dog friendly area. And she was telling me how when she lived there, she made a lot of money doing this. And I was like, money watching dogs and cuddling with them? Sign me up. And so she showed me Rover. And I got my first job actually in Wilmington when I lived in North Carolina before I even moved to Ohio. But it was like one offs. I didn't do it as nearly as much as I do now. But she was the person who introduced me to it. And Rover is like Wag. They're the two main dog sitting apps. They basically hire independent contractors to watch your dogs and take care of your home if you're not there, walk them, or board them during the day if you work out of your home. So you can go on there and find a plethora of people who have signed up to be dog sitters. You can look their qualifications. They have reviews. Rover also, I don't know if they do this now, but they used to like do classes so you can have different qualifications. And they also do background checks. They do basic background checks and extended background checks. So you're not just hiring some stranger off the street that has like a criminal record. Like you go through and you pick somebody that you're comfortable with to watch your dog. So yeah, that's how I got started with Rover. And most of the time that's kind of like my lead funnel. Like people find me through Rover. And then if they need me for an extended period of time, we usually go off the app, which Rover will say no to because they don't make their money that way. Rover takes a 20% cut of any job that you get through them. And they also have insurance. You're protected under Rover as a client. I'm not protected. Like independent contractors don't have insurance. Regular ones I do because I'm a business owner, so it's kind of skewed. But anyway, that's how I found out about Rover.
That's great. That's great. So
yeah.
Now, if you use Rover, you don't. I mean, are there other ways that you're connecting with people in your neighborhood just based on your skills? Do you use like Nextdoor or anything like that to connect with people too, or is it mostly Rover?
No. And through all of my businesses, I've never like had to market. It's always been word of mouth through my marketing firm and through Rover. People find somebody they really love and tell all their friends, and that's really how I've come up with a regular client base.
That's great. That's great. Now, in the Rover app, is it like Uber where you get stars or things like you get ratings based on how good of a person you are that's been taking care of the animals?
Well, I am an amazing person, so
That's
of course
right.
only have 5 stars.
I was going to say.
Yeah, but after
I just want to download the app right now and hit 5 stars, even though you haven't watched any of my animals. But.
I would if I could. No, so yeah, after your jobs, your client has the option of reviewing you. Not everybody does. I mean, after a job, I usually send a message saying, I hope you got home okay. I really enjoyed watching your animal. Please don't forget to leave me a review because the algorithm gods deem it necessary. And usually they leave me a review. And there's actually also now you can leave tips to your dog sitters, which is new. So I've gotten a few tips recently, which is nice. I'm not gonna say no to that. But yeah, I think I have 56 reviews now, and I've been doing it for like 3 years, pretty hardcore. So I would absolutely, if you're gonna go on Rover and seek somebody, make sure they have all 5-star reviews, and make sure that they're verified stay reviews. That means that you've actually like watched those dogs. It's not just like a friend leaving a review.
That's great. That's great. So you mentioned $1,000 to $1,500 a month. Can you tell us, like, hours wise, what are you putting in to get that? Like, even just ballpark. Like, I know you do lots of different things. As you said, you're sort of a multi-income, an income stream person. But how much time do you think you're dedicating to the dog sitting per month?
I mean, I used to call it my side hustle, and now I'm like, this is more of my second business, because I am now making money to kind of qualify it as that. But I don't do it by hour just because if I did, it would be like 5 cents an hour because sure. I'm staying at these people's houses for like a week,
lots of benefits.
So I usually do it by day, and I would say I am out of my apartment dog sitting at least half of the month in days. And I've gotten questions like, well, how is that? You're married. Like, why would you? And I'm like, well, we each need our own space. Like, and my dogs are taken care of because Joe, my husband, watches them as I go off and make this extra money. So it works for us. I'm not saying it's going to work for you. But for somebody who kind of has my setup, absolutely check it out for sure.
I think that's great. I think a lot of people out there are just looking for a little bit of extra money. And if they could do it. Doing something that they would love that actually gives them, I guess, probably good for your mental health too, just to cuddle with animals, hang out with animals. Animals are great, so it's a great way to, Great way to get lots of benefits outside of just the monetary side of things. So let's talk about, the fact. I mean, I was just telling you these benefits. Talk to me about the benefits of doing this. What has this meant for you, either monetarily or emotionally, to have this as a fun side hustle of yours?
Well, monetarily, since this is marriage, kids, and money.
That's right.
I when we were paying off my debt, I used money to pay off my car, so that wouldn't have been possible without my Rover income. I'm supplementing my income just to live. When I was first starting my company, I wouldn't have been able to pay the bills without Rover. And then now we use it more so of like, okay, we want to go to a national park. We don't really want to spend our 9 to 5 income on it, so I'll just pick up some extra income, and we can throw all of that to an Airbnb outside of Sand Dunes National Park. And my husband, for those who don't follow me, which you should, um, he is a student at Boulder, and so he goes to school and he gets the GI Bill, so that's like his job. But he wants to take a month off in the summer, and so the way we're going to do that is I'm picking extra jobs up, saving that money, and he'll be able to take a month off of school and just take a breather and not be so burnt out. So Rover has really changed my life. I mean, the extra money has been crucial to elevating my lifestyle in a way that wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't found it. And also, just like you said, I love animals. I really, truly do. And I don't feel like Rover is a job. And I think I've done other side hustles or other businesses that I've been like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't, like, the money's great, but oh my gosh, no. And with Rover, it's never been like that. I've always been like, oh, yay. Like, I go get to see my favorite client, Walter, tomorrow, actually, and go hang out with a little poodle. Yay. Like, it's fun for me. And I think that's really crucial when it comes to not being burnt out with side hustles or making extra money. Because it's only great if it's sustainable. And this has been sustainable for me.
I think that's great. And yeah, to your point, I think sometimes we're looking for that quick money, but then that quick money could be like, oh man, this is sort of a pain. This is something you enjoy. This is something you're getting exercise doing. This is something that you're, I don't know, just feeling a little bit better in your day to do. So I appreciate you walking through these details of how you make these extra dollars with hanging out with animals, because that's a lot of fun. So let's talk to the person who's saying, hey, I am interested in getting started with Rover. What is the first step that I should take to do that? And how do I get that credibility so people actually want to be with me?
Right. So I have a highlight on my Instagram at Vee Frugal Fox that takes you over tons of tips on how to set up your Rover profile. The first thing you're going to want to do is, go to Rover. And then you're going to sign up. I would get the extended background check just because you'll show a little higher in the algorithm. And then what I would do is write your profile, which I have a formula on my page that you can follow. You can invite other people that you have pet sit for to leave you a review. And these aren't going to be verified stay reviews, which again will elevate you in the algorithm, but they show potential clients that, okay, this person has experience before with animals. So those are really the first 3 steps. And then you're going to want to do market research as well, just so that you don't get on there and you're like, well, I'm going to charge $100 a night and everybody else on there is charging like 30. That's not going to work in your favor. You're going to want to go below market rate. So if the average pet sitter has their rates for $30, you're going to want to do it around 20. That way, somebody who's looking for a more affordable option will select you. You'll get a verified stay and you can build up your client base and then raise your prices. I think I started in Colorado at like $30 a night and now I'm at 63. So I'm my location's top Rover client and the most expensive now. So you just got to kind of look at your market and see where you're going to fall.
I love that. Yeah, build up your base and grow from there while you're enjoying something that you do. Vee, I think this is fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today. If people want to connect with you and learn more about your awesome digital marketing company that I take full advantage of and really appreciate working with, if you guys have seen any of my Instagram stuff or even my YouTube work, the real people behind this are Vee and her team. So if you wanna touch base with her, talk to us about where people can connect with you there.
Yeah, you can find me. I'm pretty much on every social media platform ever. I hang out on Instagram and Twitter mostly at Frugal Fox. And then if you want to check out my digital marketing firm, which helps personal finance influencers create their content, you can get at me at WEIR Digital Marketing, and we're on Instagram.
V, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Of course, thank you.